way to be.
Yeah.
Come on, man, we're week 10. Week 10, George. Where's it gone? No, it just seems like yesterday we were talking. Last Monday. It's going so quickly at the moment. It must be life's good, isn't it? Crikey.
Absolutely.
So this is about that frequency for answers and solutions this week. Okay, so we're still, but now we've jumped into the acceleration part. So this is really about understanding that if you get on the same frequency as the universe and with that abundance that you want to create and wherever you want to create it in your life,
yes,
it's a higher frequency, and it's also the frequency. It's compatible with the answers and the solutions, the insights, the inspiration, the enthusiasm that you're all creating. So that's all that frequency of creating this amazing life, right? And yet we've got this part to us that's limiting. It's a limiting mind, and so we want to move out of that limiting mind into that genius mind. And at the end of the day, some of the best geniuses on the world, you and I, are no different. They just
fantastic.
They just put their time and effort to be in that genius mind of that higher vibration. So in other words, in short, your dream will not happen from the mind that doesn't believe it's possible.
Yes.
Or the mind that is convinced that the conditions have to change before you can get there, right?
That's key.
Yeah. So in other words, we have to vibrate at that vibration where it is all possible, and the conditions never change first. The conditions change only because our thinking has changed. Okay.
Yeah. So, like Mary said, first we see it in our mind, in our thoughts, and then it becomes our reality.
Yeah, everything. And when the more you study this, the more you'll realize, and it'll get into your bones, that we create everything. Right? You whack your finger building something. Well, you've created that.
Not today.
No. We don't want to put that out there, but I'm just giving you an example, that we create everything. The relationships, the fights, the misunderstandings, the things that go terribly wrong in our life. And there's such a big subconscious part of us that we're on default so much of that time that we don't know what we're creating. And the understanding is then we can't always predict what that is going to be. We cannot, but at least we've got the tools now to actually know that when shit does happen, that we can then go, right, I can create a different outcome. I can see this differently. I can create something great out of this by just knowing that there's a lesson in this for me. There's a golden thread, or there's a silver lining somewhere in this opportunity.
So we could be asking the questions, what good can come out of this? We can ask those questions so that we do get the answers, instead of not knowing when something happens that's unexpected. If we're asking those questions, what good can come out of this? What good can I see out of this? Where can we all benefit from what has happened? If we ask those questions, we can receive the answers.
Well, it might be just as simple as, where can I grow?
Yeah.
yeah, so there's always something that we can take away from every opportunity. It doesn't matter how terrible it can be at times. You know?
Okay.
There's always just a lesson there for us to take forward, and hopefully that way we won't manifest it again. We've moved past it, right?
Yes.
Because we've grown so much from it.
Yes.
So and I can only bring my own story here, and I'll probably touch on that a little bit later. But it's I understand that the more I grow, the less need I have for the chair, because there's still the whole process is about learning to overcome. It's some form of forgiveness in me to learn to become more aware of that consciousness, and so everything is on purpose. The day I walk is because I've forgiven enough and I've moved forward enough to have left the chair behind.
Wow.
So let's I want to do, because this is what I do in life mastery, George, and I want to set intention. So I want you to just fold those lungs up. We're going to just do a little quiet meditation just quickly, just to really ground ourselves, because this is what we're getting into, is really getting in touch with that power in us. Okay, so I want you to just take a deep breath, fill those lungs up through your nose, and hold it just for a couple of seconds, and then let it out. Okay, and I want you to now just start thinking that there's this lovely thread of light. It's like a waterfall of our connectedness to this universe, and it's coming up from above us, and it's going through our top chakra, which is in the top of our head. And as we're breathing in, it's just filling us up, all our veins, right out to our fingers, right through our chest, right down to our hips and groin, and it's just filling our whole body up with this beautiful light, right down to our feet. Beautiful. I want you to be just aware of how that feels. You know, feel your shirt on your body, feel your skin against the air, feel your feet in your shoes, right? And just imagine that same white light is going out like roots from the bottom of your feet, and it's going straight into the ground, Mother Earth, right? And they're making their way through that rock, that lava, right down into the center of this earth, and then it's bringing back all that good energy from the earth. So I want you to just imagine that when you're breathing out, you're letting out any frustration, any job that's coming up, I want you to become present at this moment. So you're pushing out anything that you don't need to keep right at this moment out into that earth, because the earth's going to recycle that and then bring that back into your body as great, powerful energy of love. So you've got love coming from the top, and you've got love going out, or frustration is going out, the earth's recycling it and pushing it back in. Okay, so close your eyes if you want, and just take that big breath and fill your lungs up as much as you can. And just imagine as you're filling those lungs up, that you're filling your body up with that beautiful white light. God's presence, that's what you're filling your body up with. And then hold it, and then just let it out. And one more. And just a third one. And just open your eyes when you're ready. So it's really a powerful. It's kind of like a meditation, but it's I find it's really powerful at bringing you back to grounding because you're using your breath, and I don't know if you meditate or anything like that, but meditation's it's fantastic at getting your mind into the now and into nothingness, because that's when you're going to get your answers. If you can get really still and really just into that space of relaxed, life is beautiful. You're vibrating that vibration of your dreams, and you'll find that either during your meditation ideas will bang into your mind, or afterwards you'll go, wow, that's a great idea, or whatever. So just to have fun with it, you know.
I use, I don't know whether you can see that.
Not quite.
It's
a little bit closer here. Now I can.
upside down.
Not awakening prologue, is it?
Yeah.
Holistic something at the bottom.
Yeah, and it's
developing tools for self-mastery. Nice.
Yeah, so I put stereo headphones on.
Yeah.
And the background is the sound of rain. It's raining. And they use a process with some, you know, the big cathedral bells?
Yeah.
Bang, and the vibration. And they use that to take you into lower and lower states, you know, like when you're sleeping. And once you get right down into the lowest state, you stay there for about half an hour, and that's raining the whole time. And they adjust the frequency. And this is something that it takes monks about 20 years to achieve. But half an hour on this and you're in that state, you go through a process of a few weeks getting to the point where you can handle this. Because to start with, if you have a go at it, it just gives you headaches. Because your mind has not experienced those vibrations. And once you're in that state, it's amazing the changes that happen. You're allowed to think about anything you like or drift off on, you know, different thoughts on that.
Yeah.
And you come out of that feeling very light. It's an amazing experience. It's like what you've just explained, and it achieves it very thoroughly, and it's just.
Can you send me that George? Not the CDs, of course, but send me the information. I'd love to have a look at that, because meditation is something reasonably new for me, and I've done some work with Dr. Joe's meditations, Pizanza, Dr. Joe Pizanza, and I found them quite good, but I still want. It's not quite working for me, so I'm looking for something that is going to really bring me into the state. So maybe.
Yeah, this company will, if you want, you can just contact them online, and they'll send you out a introduction CD.
Yeah.
And then you can, if you like it, you can get the first level CDs, which is what I've got. there's a whole range of CDs in here that you can listen to. And I searched for this on Trade Me and bought it for not much, because some people want to go much deeper, whereby they contact the company and their own voice recordings are put into these subliminally. And as a result, someone popped this up on Trade Me. And so you can buy the course for not much on Trade Me, because some people are working at a higher level and they didn't need the first level.
Cool.
And but the first level I find does everything that I desire, in my meditation, to get into that state. So very reasonable.
Okay, no. Yeah. I'm intrigued to get that information and have a search. I know you mentioned it some time ago too, that you were doing that. So that's cool. So summary of last week, mate. Let's go through that before we get into this week's stuff. We discussed the importance of surrounding yourself with people who can support you moving towards creating your dream. So the three benefits of a mastermind: you get to tap into infinite intelligence through the power of the mastermind. So not just one person, actually having two or three. Tap into a collective experience of that mastermind partners, because everyone has a different expression. And then third was tap into partners who believe in you when you have a hard time believing in ourselves. And I believe that is so important. You want to manifest the right person that's got your back. And because we do have moments where we slip into that human self of just being limited. And sometimes we just need that word of, hey, you've got this.
Yes.
You can create whatever you want. Belief in a partner of believing. So just checking, how did you find the experience of finding a partner and believing, and being a bigger partner and believing in yourself? Because we did talk about how you could ring, I think it was 3 people, was it?
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Yeah.
So I started out, like you mentioned, that you've formed a mastermind with your parents. So I thought I'll do that because their belief in me is unmistakable, So they're looking at this journey that I'm on, and Dad started reading that book that you sent me that I read on the 11 laws of the universe. And I've printed out a little bit of what Mary's been talking to us about for them to read. And so they're sort of starting to understand what our mind and thoughts are creating. So I've been talking to them about that. And the other person that I next want to talk about is Neil, who used to be my neighbour. We'd go to the gym and do all sorts of car stuff together. And last time I talked to him, he said, "You got to get that car back on the road." So I've stripped this engine, and this week I've taken it down to the engine reconditioners, and I haven't got back there to pick it up. So I'm hoping it's all measured up. And I thought I'll get that back, and I'll ring Neil and say, "Hey, look, I've taken the first step, to building this engine." So I'll get that picked up one either end of today or tomorrow, and give him a call and start connecting with Neil. So I have not done that yet, but I've written out a list of some more people to connect with that have been thinkers that I've bounced ideas off in the past, and I've stopped doing that. So let's get that going again. So I've written out my list of the qualities of a person that's going to be like what you said, someone that's got your back. And so I'm working on attracting that key person. So yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm taking some steps. Yep.
Yeah. And one thing I just want you to be curious about, and it mightn't be the case, but I want you to be curious about it because something picked up something then, and it was your friend, your ex-neighbor friend, Neil, and how you've put it off ringing him because you want to get the motor reconditioned first or whatever. So I love that it's created some action there, but my curiosity would be, why have you put it off? It did, and there's no right or wrong answer there. I'm just is that the old pattern sneaking back in there, or no?
I don't know the answer to that. Maybe it is. I know that Neil and I have gone to events with our cars and competed and stuff like that. So there's a passion around that. So it's always nice to have something fresh, So
yeah, I suppose what I'm getting
you might be right.
What I'm getting at is that we have this tendency of putting stuff off. Right?
I'm good at doing that.
Yeah. And I'm just curious because
and taking longer than I think it should.
At the end of the day, does it matter if that's what you're planning on doing? You've created these steps. You're already creating these steps to get the car back on the road, right?
Yes.
And so you're actioning it, but there was a part of you that wanted to put it off until you'd done something to before you rang him.
Yes.
And what I find is, and this is just something to be curious about, okay? And this is what I'm finding in my own life and everything. The universe loves momentum. Absolutely loves momentum. So if you think it, act it on it. If it's a great idea, if he's the one that you really would love as a partner, believe in. Don't wait for the circumstances to be right. Just act on your intuition at that time, because it's sometimes we don't act, and then all of a sudden we lose the momentum, and that momentum sometimes is gone. Sometimes we miss the opportunity completely because we didn't act on that momentum at that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think Neil's not the one. I want to attract someone. I don't know who it is yet. Yeah.
Neil can be one of the. It doesn't have to be. And like I said, if you become that partner in believing that you want to create, so you become that. You can become that for Neil, and you could quite easily ring him up and tell him what. Just praise him on what he's meant to you.
Yes.
To this point. It doesn't mean that you're inviting him to be a partner in believing. It just means that you are being that partner in believing that you want to attract for someone.
Yeah, Neil's very good like that. He's got a degree in human resources. He's a lecturer at Unitech in Auckland.
Yep.
And he's a head of the department there. And he's really good at being an encourager and saying, you can do this. He's good like that. And he's also a good person at, you always feel better after you've had a chat to Neil. Yep. He's great at drawing stuff out of people and making them feel really good about themselves. So
Yeah, and that's my point. You know, that, this is great. There might be a great opportunity for you to make his day by
Yeah.
by actually ringing him up and saying, "Hey, mate, I've been thinking about you. I've done some self development, and I just want to say thank you for being this person. Da 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 da." And it means a lot in my life. And that's all that has to be said, you know.
Yeah.
And then say, hey, look, guess what? I've got my car and I've got my motor and ta da ta, you know.
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is you know, it's you being. It's just like at the beginning here when we were talking about you have to become the vibration first before it comes to reality. So start being that vibration. Don't hesitate. Act on what your heart and soul is telling you to do, and whoever that is, you know, it's quite often we can play it safe with mum and dad, or wife, or whoever, you know.
Yep.
And sometimes it just takes that deep breath to do it to someone who's not going to be expecting it.
Yeah.
You know? He's not possibly going to expect you to ring him up and praise him, or it doesn't have to be him, but it can be other. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I sent another message to someone else starting that process because Mary suggested to 5 people. But one thing I'd like to really work on is I start the day with this great focus, and I have a task that I have to work on. And partway through the day, what I want is to have a way of getting it really fresh again, so that I can, you know, plow on through the afternoon.
And that's easy, mate. That is bloody easy. It's just resetting the intention again, right? Okay. So you've got some great skills there. You've got some great practices going on. Either use your vision to bring in that vibration if you want. Use your meditation. It doesn't have to be long. Do it at lunchtime, you know, just take 10 minutes. Set that new, fresh intention, get yourself right back into the moment. Because use your vision. There's no harm in using your vision a third time during the day or a second time during the day at lunchtime, you know, and then doing it again at night. It might be even just the vision of the day, of the project, right? Okay. Of the end result. Do a little bit of a meditation before that if you want, you know, just a 5-minute, 10-minute meditation where you are just really humming back into that present moment, and then bring in that vibration of what you want to create, and see how that works, and just play with it. Just find different. You've got the vision, you've got your gratitude, you've got, you know, there's a lot of different things that you can just bring into that practice, and just shows you where you are at too, George. Okay. It's great because that is that's showing excellence and what you're trying to achieve too. You know, you're so aware that in the afternoon you go like most of us, you know, we're human, right? So try the meditations and the vision. Have a nice little vision statement that you know is going to just go, wow, yeah, I love that. Oh yes, can't wait.
Right. Okay.
And I would say combine the two. So this week, training your mind, okay? And we're moving forward into the acceleration of the dream, okay? And it's really important at this point of the process to continue to train our mind whereas we get trapped up in the circumstances, and that do come up. They come up all the time. Circumstances are going to come up, so it's really important to keep training the mind to refocus, right? And this is pretty much what you're talking about too. With that afternoon, we all of a sudden get, oh God, it's taking forever, or I feel, oh God, I don't really feel like doing this afternoon, or whatever that is. That's our circumstances, and we get caught up in them. So we want to think more from the mind of the person who is living that life. Okay. So today we'll consider 3 disciplines of the mind, and the first one is the power of decision. Okay. As you know, once you decide for it, it helps big time because we go for it.
Yes.
The power of the question, as we've talked about last with Edison's land of the solution, and the power of alignment. Okay. So the power of decision, and Raymond Charles Barker wrote, he's got the book, The Power of Decision. There is only one success process. Know what you want, decide it shall happen, and act upon that decision. And only the dreamer who acted with decision on his dream brought forth something new and valuable. Okay? Only the dreamer who acted with decision on his dream brought forth something new and valuable. So decisiveness is the hallmark of all successful people, right? Once they make the decision, they act on it, and they go for it. And that's kind of what I was talking about with your friend. You thought about him,
yes,
but you didn't act on it. You wanted to put it off until the week after, and yes, that's where I was kind of going with that. It was that the paradigm kicking in, or was that just because, was there a reason? Oh no, there wasn't a question. It's just to make you curious. Was it, because there wouldn't have been any harm in giving him a call anyway.
No, partly when I last talked to him, I wanted to get that engine up and going and get back to him. And I spent a lot of time working on it. And when I was trying to fire it up, no fuel pump connected and no spark plugs in, I got no oil pressure. And I had this massive oil leak. So I then spent another half a day stripping it down and putting it back together, got the oil pressure up, but still had this big oil leak. So then I realized I've got an engine rebuild here. So I've had these goes at trying to get this thing done,
Yeah, but my point is, that's it. That's the paradigm, right?
Yeah.
And
so, okay.
And it's delaying you, dissuading you to not ring him now. And
I wanted the good story,
I know you wanted a good story, but that is a good story. It's a great story. See, he mightn't see it. He'll enjoy that just as much as the other story, because you're telling me this has happened, that's happened. I'm still working on it, and this is where I'm at, But it's funny how, we quite often just put it off because it's not, it's an excuse. It's delaying us. It's a paradigm delaying us, right? When there's no reason why we can't. And I'm just using that as an example. Okay,
it's a good one.
Yeah, because it seems relevant. So the word decide means to cut away from, and you would have heard Mary talking about the story about Michelangelo. who carved the bust of David. He cut everything away that wasn't David. So for us to help us accelerate and forward towards our dream, you have to have willingness to cut away anything that is unlike what you want to create, okay, for yourself. And sometimes that concludes people, it concludes activities, words, media input, radio, internet, books. I would imagine you're pretty good on a lot of that stuff, but some people watch the news, and that's one of the first things I gave up when I started doing this self-development work was I do not watch soap operas and news because it's got such a negative pull towards what's going wrong in our lives and what's going wrong in humanity, whatever that is, instead of focusing on the positive story. And you'll notice even the news will pull in a negative kind of heading for something that's actually a positive story, because they know that that's what people are attracted to. So when we cut away something, it is important to also fill that void with what you do want. And so if you've got habits or ways of being that is detrimental to your dream or is keeping you away from your dream, then it's important, just like any habit, to replace that with something that is going to step you in the direction of your dream and fill your mind and time with that attention. And you can imagine that will really create momentum towards your dream really quickly.
Yep. Okay. Yes. Yep.
And the second part is the power of the question. It has said that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your question we asked. Okay? We want to learn to ask questions that reflect our highest possible or possibility for our life. And just like, using Google's a great example, right, on the computer.
Yes.
The universe will respond exactly the same way and provide you with the answer to what question we give it. So in other words, a good example is how can I pay my bills this month? Okay. Or we could ask, how can I bring in more money this month than I have any month this all year? See the difference in the power of the two questions. One is focused on our circumstance. The other one is saying, right, let's make more money so we can cover those bills. So,
yeah, it's got a different vibration, hasn't it? It's
totally.
Like going beyond where you've been before.
Yeah, totally. And it's really thinking outside the box. The universe loves that creativity. It's never going to give you an answer right in front of you. It's always going to come through the side door or the back door, and never ever comes right. It doesn't put it in your hand very often. You have to be willing to have your blinkers off and checking over here, because it's likely to come from behind you. And it makes it quite intriguing how some of these ideas come to us,
Through unlikely sources.
Yeah, well, my wife is my biggest muse. It's surprising how she'll say something to me and I go, oh my God, thank you. It's not thanks to her, thank you for the answer. Right? It comes through my wife quite often.
Yeah.
And it's like something she said, and it just triggers something in me, and I go, wow, that's what I've been looking for. You know, a question to how to create that our bigger deposit for our dream, right? That was my question to the universe the other week. Well, this weekend on Friday, she comes up with an idea and says, hey, we've got this land. We should maybe look at subdividing. Hey, I don't know if that's the answer yet, but it was like, whoa, where'd that come from? And then more of an investigator is like, oh, this has got me excited. Wow, was this an answer from the universe? It might be, it might not be, but I'm just, going to go with it now. And so it's just remember the quality of the question.
Good.
Okay. Like maybe there's a different question you can ask about your motor or your car to create even to be even quicker or whatever, So we also know that there is not a question you can ask for which there is not an answer. And I love that. That's given me so much rest. And it takes, because once you understand that, it takes away the anxiety. It takes away the worry, right? Because if you can ask a question, there's an answer. We're all born to die, but there's so many people that have got cancer and got different diseases. I believe if they can come up with the right answer, a question, they'll get the right answers. Right?
Absolutely.
And so really, this is the second principle, is really learn to formulate a powerful question. Okay? And that will really help your mind align with your dream.
Good, yeah.
And it will help you accelerate towards that dream.
Excellent. Well,
The next part, the third part, the power of alignment. And this is so powerful to remember and help you get back into that alignment and staying in alignment with your purpose and your vision is key. That's why the vision and your vision needs to be big enough for you, because that's where your purpose is, because it'll really bring out the desire in your heart, right? So that's the key of manifesting your dream, or manifestation of your dream, is being really in alignment with what you know is right in your heart. Okay. And circumstances, yes, sometimes they're going to threaten to throw us off balance. And I believe that this is it's only there to test and to help you learn, or me, or whoever that is, us to learn to really step into that vision and keep acting. It's going to test us. We're going to have circumstances that get thrown up from now and from time to time. And so to help you do that is a 5-step thinking process, okay, that will really help you stay aligned with your vision. And when you're facing those challenging circumstances, which we all do, okay. Yes. And first one is God is. It's a realization that there is one presence, one power, one life. Bring that into mind, or it into mind, and lift your awareness to this realization. Number 2 is I am. That's that recognition that I am part of that one presence and one power.
Excellent.
Yeah. And that recognition that is, I am a spiritual being having human experience. I am connected to the infinite mind that has answers to everything. Yes. I am, that I am facing. So there is an infinite presence and I'm part of it. I begin to have an experience of realization and recognition of that one power. And that's why I am is our sacred name. It's in the Bible as exactly that. Number 3 is the truth is. Okay? It's discernment.
Number 3 is?
The truth is.
Ah, yes.
So it's discernment. The truth is that there is a power in the universe and that it is bigger than anything I'm facing right now. Right? And I quite often say to my clients, you are so much more powerful than any circumstance or condition that you're facing. And that's exactly why. You're connected.
Yeah, I missed that.
I see that. My internet went out.
Yeah. So you're more than your circumstances.
Yeah, you're much more greater than any circumstance and any condition that you're facing. And that, you are totally connected. I love to, I kind of have fun with it. And I just think that power is the Godfather, right? It's like, in the movie, he's the Godfather. You've got him on your side.
I've heard about the movie. I don't think I've seen it.
No, you probably don't want to. But it's still having
the concept.
That concept of having that power has got your back. And I love how think Wayne. Albert Einstein, he has a quote where he says, you have the fundamental choice to decide if the universe is friendly.
Wow.
Or it's not.
It is.
Yeah. Right? So we have the fundamental decision, or we have that power to decide if it's friendly or not. And once the truth is, if you decide that is friendly and that power has got your back,
yes,
there's a answer to every solution. Right? I've got a few things going on with me at the moment, and I'm like, oh, I know that I've got the answers here. I just need to find them. And away you go. Once it just takes the pressure off. Once you really understand that, no, God has got your back.
Good, yes.
Or universe, whatever you like, call it. Yes. Whatever you resonate with it. Number 4 is I release, and this is why we go with our dream. At the end, let go of the struggle and the angst and trying too hard. This is what it looks like while it's getting solved. Let go of all the thoughts of what might go wrong. Good example of this was when I went on a fun cycle with my daughter, 20K. school fundraiser, and I got there, and then I found out there was a couple of real steep hills. And my hand cycle, especially going uphill, downhill's not so bad, but still it's a bit nerve-wracking. But going uphill was the front has got the brakes on, so if I start losing traction, if it gets too steep, as I was saying, it was quite steep. I was starting to, I was just creating a story around how, oh shit, if it's too steep, I'm not going to have the traction, I'm not going to have brakes, I'm not going to, I'll start going backwards 100 miles an hour, whatever that is, start sliding. And so I guess what I was doing, I started getting nervous, I was starting to get anxious, I was putting those thoughts about what might go wrong, right? But then I started, it was actually my wife again, and she goes, stop thinking, because she could see what was going on in my brain. And
so the three of you were doing this 20 Ks?
No, just the two of us. Kath was on registration, so she was there at the beginning. And so, I put myself in that vibration. Come on, it'll be all right. Stop thinking about what's going to happen. Let's just be in the now, right here. And that is right now. So I released that angst and worry and let it go. And of course, it worked out. Yes, I needed a push on one part of the hill. And next year, if I do it, I'll make sure I put weights on the front of my bike so I have plenty of weight in the front. But we worry, we build up to something that, is scaring us. And instead of just letting it go and knowing, number 3, that the truth is there, that it'll work out. It's got to work out. If it feels right to do, then it's got to work out. And then number 5, mate, is I am grateful. It's that gratitude.
Yes.
Letting go and feeling grateful. And this is like what I said, there's two sides of the coin. And so letting go of the conditions and say, I may not know the answers right now, but I know the answers exist.
Yeah.
And for that, I am grateful. All right? And this keeps us in that learning, it helps us keep in that learning of alignment, okay, with our dream, regardless of the circumstances that we're facing. So that's the third discipline, is to help us accelerate to our dream, is to know, don't give all that other stuff energy, refocus, and that's the same thing. That's why I'm saying that at lunchtime, maybe if you find the afternoon's tough, refocus, realign yourself.
Good.
And even bring in these 5. If just simply your vision and your even going through those 5 will help. You realize, wow, I've got so much power behind me.
Absolutely, that's key.
So, mate, I've pretty much covered everything today. And
good.
So the power of decision. This is the whole life work. Write down 1 or 3 things that you decide to cut away from your life in order to allow your dream to arrive or emerge. Okay. So we all have things that, we look that can slow us down.
So write down 3 things to cut away from my life that allow us to emerge.
allow your dream to merge. That will allow your dream to emerge, right? Because quite often that vibration, we're not quite on that vibration. Or we're spending a lot of the day not on that vibration because we're doing something that we know, deep down we know that is not in the direction of our dream. It might be even just thoughts. It might be what we do in the evening, what we're watching, what we're listening to on the radio,
Okay.
Yeah, I used to listen to the Edge radio station. Oh my God, I can't stand it now. It's just, because I'm always talking about someone else. It's like a big gossip station,
Yes.
And so that was detrimental to the vibration that I wanted to create.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful to what I listen to on the radio. Sometimes I don't even have the radio on, because if I do, then
the news comes along.
Yeah, or we play our music lists, a Spotify list or whatever. Kids have got one, Cass got one, where she's got a list of music that we listen to, and quite often it's uplifting music, or it's whatever resonates with the vibration you want to create.
Yeah, when I've been in the workshop, I've taken out a couple of boxes of CDs, and I've been listening to those instead of the radio.
Well, even the recordings, like Mary's recordings, or we listened to the interview of Eckhart and Oprah doing his book. It's an older book, but she was interviewing him and asking questions and dicing the book up. It's all really good information. It's down the lines of what we want to create, and that awareness.
Yes.
There's so much. I've gone through stages where Abraham Hicks has been something I've listened to. Something, like those different books, I've put them on audio. Even the 11 principles of success, or 11 laws of success, or there's so many of them out there, so many good, even Think and Grow Rich, and get it on audio. I noticed that my wife she does it a lot. She walks around with headphones and her cell phone, and she'll be picking up horseshit, and she'll be listening to one of those great inspirational books. They're all on audio these days, and it's great to...
I've been wanting to listen to Mary's, the modules, and I put them onto a CD, but it'll only play on computers because it's MP3 file. So I've got to learn how to change it to WAV file so I can play it on my CD player out in the workshop.
Hey, you got Wi-Fi through the house?
Yeah, but out in the workshop.
You should be able to listen to them on any device then. Your phone, whatever. Mind you, you've got an older phone, eh? But
yeah, no, I've got a grunty stereo out in the workshop, and I just want to be able to put a CD in there with the tracks on, and select which module that I want to listen to talking about, or just let them play. So I've just got to convert, because when you download her, each of these modules are on an MP3 file, which will only play on a computer. So I need to convert that into a WAV. I think they call it a WAV file.
Yeah.
And that is what an ordinary CD player, like music tracks on a CD.
Right. Yeah,
so I've just got to have another go at converting them, and then I can make another CD that'll go on a CD player. So I'll try that.
Okay. Yeah, well, these days, not most people obviously download it so they can just listen to it on phones, and because they're, especially all the young ones, Georgie, they all have these amazing phones that they can listen to. So
I've got old technology everywhere.
no, it's fine. You just do whatever suits you.
So I'll have to get this working so I can use my old technology. I've got a plan to get it. I've got a plan to get one of these new phones, but that's going to be about October. So
awesome,
yeah.
awesome. So obviously we're into the third meditation. So we're into the last of the meditations now, so it's recording 15 next week. There's only one recording, and exercises in the workbook. Right? So that's life work. Have you got any questions?
Oh, I think we've covered it along the way, actually. That's good.
Awesome, awesome.
And we're meeting tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
I thought it was Wednesday, or was it tomorrow? I did look this morning. Oh, yeah, it's tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Yep.
Still good?
Yep. Well, I'm looking forward to that, getting some your feedback and stuff like that. And yeah, we'll talk about the next step. Awesome.
Till tomorrow.
Awesome, man. Will you go and do what you wanted to do today?
Yeah, well, there's